Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. Interrupted. The only reason I didn't kill myself tonight was because my cat came and laid on the piece of paper I was trying to use to write my final note. She just looked at me. Then she meowed, and I realized I was wrong. I don't want to die, not while she's alive. I don't know what is sadder, the fact that I wanted to die tonight, or the fact that the only reason I didn't was because of a cat I paid $50 for. Check on your friends. Some of us are really not okay. Story 2. I hate this girl so much. I hate everything about her. She ruined my life. She is such a pick-me. She doesn't know when she's not wanted. She stole all my friends and then lied about me and turned them all against me. I never liked her. She was rude to me when I first met her. Became my fake friend, stalked me on social media and accused me of being a threat to her boyfriend. Accused my other female friends of wanting to sleep with him whenever they would tag all to social outings. She copied everything I did. Would make our relationships a competition. She'd promise personal details were safe with her and then would tell everyone behind your back. When I cut her off, she went to my best friend expecting her to join in on her bitching about me. How dare you do all this to me and then try to cozy up to my best friend and bitch about me as if she wasn't going to take my side. She always belittled me in front of everyone. She would mock my degree, my boyfriend, how I dress. She would take credit for the things I said or did, the jokes I made, the pictures I took. She had to one-up everything. She is the most disgusting human I've ever met. I'm glad she's out my life, but it pains me knowing she's now flourishing and succeeding and karma never came after her. No one ever told her to STFU. No one ever put her in her place. There were never consequences for her actions. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 3. I think it's really stupid companies make you take 3 days off of your own annual leave on Christmas. Every job I had. I hate it. I started a new job this April and even though I like it, I hate that I was made today, yesterday, Friday, use my own annual leave for 26, 27, 28 December. When I first started, my line manager said she never takes those days off and I probably won't have to. But as the end of the year is approaching, it has been said many times now staff need to use their annual leave for Christmas. I'm sorry, but I don't want to. Contract says 25 days annual leave, not 22. If the company is closed, then everyone should get those days off. Not having to waste your own. I'm also very anxious what my colleagues think of me, as I've asked a few staff members about it, so they probably think I wanted to skive or something, which is not true. One of the directors worked through Christmas when he started. So there's clearly work that will be available to do. Anyone else? I feel it's a scam. Also found in some papers when I first started, some said 28 days annual leave, so I wonder if some people are getting less than the others. Sad face. I just think it's stupid we have to use our own holiday bank. Story 4. Flirted with at work by 17M. And I'm 21F, in 4+ year relationship, need advice. So I've had this job close to 2 weeks now. It's in a factory, and I'm loving it so far, as much as it's a demanding job and can be high stress, not that it makes much of a difference. Regardless, I'm 21F and there's this guy we'll call John 17M I want to start off with. I will never cheat in my boyfriend, and never have. And already being flirted with by a 17-year-old feels kinda weird. But I need help figuring out how I should feel about this situation. Anyway, John is super nice and good / fun personality. He was / is. Say is just because I think once you're addicted to something you always are. A drug, mainly coke, addict that dropped out grade 10 but has been sober for around 5 mths, and he's been turning his life around and is trying to become a millwright. He has a girlfriend of around 1 year, but she's moving far away soon and more or less they know it won't work out, so I think that's why he's been flirty. Just wanted to give some background on him. My turn now. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 4 6 mths, I love him so much. Relationship was crazy rocky in the first 2 YRS over time, but has been much better over the rest of it and everything is all around better. Too much to go into to explain it all, but he has ADHD and maybe some other borderline things, BPD/personality disorder possible, and he wonders if he's a bit autistic sometimes and is actually trying to look into testing to see if he can figure anything out. He's 22 BTW. Either way, I'm a very touchy-lovey person and get hyper spurts and it can overwhelm him sometimes, but sometimes he loves it and is all over it, and I've learned to accept how he is when he doesn't want my touch. We've talked a lot about it. He does his best. In general he's not a super touchy person and we're opposite in that way. But it's because of how touch makes him feel he's that way. He says it annoys him because it overwhelms in some way and it's hard for him to explain. He says he hates he's that way and I believe him, but believe me, he still touches and loves me. It's not like he never does it. I was just laying on his lap moments ago and he rubbed my head a bit. I'm probably going to talk to my BF about this soon, because I should since it's bugging me. But one thing since John has started flirting with me, is I notice how my BF doesn't really ever compliment me. He doesn't randomly say, "You're so pretty" or "You're so beautiful baby," which isn't a big deal for everyone, and it is the biggest deal for me necessarily, but it would be really nice to hear from the one person I actually want to hear it from. Now to go into the actually flirting part, I haven't flirted back, I don't think. It was mainly today he was flirting with me. I'm normally in the packing room and only see him temporarily on breaks/lunch outside where me, my boss and him all talk and smoke or eat, or when he randomly pops into our room throughout the day for questions or to make jokes or pick on me jokingly or someone else in the room. But today I was helping on the other side of the factory because the packing machine was under maintenance for most of the day, and I enjoyed working out there. He's a good energy to work with and he's good at his job, which is always just great. There's a few other people that don't try at the job and it slows everyone down. And before I kinda ignored the thought of him having a crush on me, but he does, cause at least 4 times today he said, "You don't get paid to stand around and look pretty, get to work." In basically the same sentence but a few different words changed. I usually just joke back somehow like, "Fuck off John, get back to work." Or don't say anything really and just shake my head and smile. But is that flirting back? I honestly not sure. I feel guilty though because I haven't told my boyfriend about it. Go more into that later. John knows I have a boyfriend, and I talk about him in and off as a general and with him about him. He hasn't asked much about him but asked where he works today kinda randomly. He was kinda awkward about it, which I honestly don't see him get uncomfortable often. He's pretty good at making himself seem confident otherwise. I talked to my mom about it when I got home. We all live together in the same house with my grandparents, minus John of course, and she doesn't think I should tell my boyfriend because she knows I won't go anywhere with it and she thinks it's unnecessary to tell him because it'll just make him feel weird or freaked out over nothing because he probably will obsess over it daily knowing I work with him. And I agree with her, as much as I feel bad not telling him because I don't think I'm cheating. But the thing I like when John was calling me pretty. It's nice to get complimented like that, but a guy, since I don't get it from the guy I want, but I need to talk to my BF about the compliment thing like I said. But hiding it from him is also the weird thing, and again also it also feels kinda weird because he's 17 and I'm 21 because I also wanna know if it's weird in that way. He's pretty mature, but I know he's not as mature as me. I can just see it. He's a good soul though. Either way, I wouldn't consider approximate 4 YRS difference in age bad if he was a few more YRS older, but should I feel weird for not minding him flirting with me? He also knows my age, but for some reason it's less weird when the girl is older in the situation like this for a young man and they seem to care less, but also, he's a teenage boy. Anyway, should I feel guilty? Am I technically flirting back? Opinions on everything? I'm gonna talk to John about how I feel more at some point. I wanna be honest and say how it's been nice to hear him call me pretty, but I need him to know Jay won't ever cheat on my boyfriend, and I'm not mad at him for flirting, but if he's trying to get something out of it, it won't happen. Story 5. My brother secretly recorded me. I decided to post because I saw a similar post here, except the fact that he is 18 and I'm underage. It's disgusting to even explain this. If I count, I think it's the third time I've caught him. The first was when I was sleeping, and the next day I opened his phone just to take pictures. When I saw the video of him recording my lower body, it was fully covered, but it was weird AF. I felt so uncomfortable with him ever since that day, because we're brought up from a good Christian family and these kinds of stuff is just unimaginable. I kept it to myself. The second time was just diabolic. When I woke up like half awake, I saw that he came to my room. It was early in the morning and he usually wakes up late. I brushed it off and went to the bathroom to relieve myself, and in that very moment I didn't notice it earlier because I was still sleepy, but it was very weird for the small bucket to just be in the center with some shower puff, so I moved it and saw his phone recording UK. That moment I just froze. I went through his gallery and out of shock I just deleted it, but OFC, it was still there and recently deleted. He started banging the door saying Mom made breakfast, because maybe he was worried that I found it after some time. UK, he was just so normal. I confronted him about it and he said he was just curious and said sorry. I hate myself for not telling my parents sooner because I kept it to myself again. I feel like I'm oversharing, but yes, the third time was when he was leaving for college. My family booked a hotel. I'm not gonna go to details, but this was the biggest one, where he tried to record me when I was going in the shower. Obviously UK, when I go to the bathroom I always check every corner because of him, and there I checked and saw the damn camera, and it was the day he was leaving. It was so hard to organize my emotions. YTF he would do this. This was so disgusting. I confronted him secretly and told him to delete everything from the spot, even the recently deleted ones. I didn't have the guts to tell my parents because I'm their daughter, he's their son, so it is so painful and uncomfortable to just think of their reactions and the freaking day when he was leaving. I just needed to get this out. It's been some months since this incident, but I still have the uneasy feeling. Story 6. My GF just rubbed in my face that she gets to see her kids and I'm very upset about it. As a short backstory, we bonded pretty well when we first met and took things rather slow in the beginning last year. We had our bouts from time to time, but nothing personal was ever said to hurt one another, and we always put ourselves in front of the problem. Over the past couple days we've been arguing over petty things, and she brought up how she thinks that we're gonna break up. I woke up Friday really early considering my shift just ended 5 hours ago. She was watching TV and I made a smart remark about how actors are fake. She asked me, am I gonna be in a crappy mood all day, and I said that I wasn't in a crappy mood. I wasn't going to let it get me down. Instead I hopped up and started cleaning the house with my headphones on. She then insisted that I was in a bad mood, like wouldn't let it go, although I told her that I was actually I'm a good mood because of how much more time I had to do things around the house. Long story short, she stormed out and went to her mom's to print something off, and I went for a drive to clear my head and make sure that I'm not going crazy. Fast forward to Sunday and she does the exact same thing. Shooting down topics on how we can handle a situation like that if it comes up again, and saying that she was stressed out but not being clear about what it was. All the while claiming that she doesn't have an attitude. We had been back and forth all day, being short with each other but trying to talk things out about Sunday, and I asked her about her son because he was back in town. She claimed that she didn't know, but at least she gets to see her kids. I'm currently fighting with my child's mother to let me see mine. I haven't seen her in months, and she knows how I feel about the situation. To sum it up, I've noticed a pattern in which she will be wrong about an assumption and then turn the situation around on me to see how I would handle things. On top of that, I felt like bringing my daughter into an argument to hurt my feelings was a low blow and shouldn't have been done. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.